First at 4, COVID-19 cases are rising again in Michigan. We'll take a look at the numbers from the state. Plus, a massive backup at the Ambassador Bridge as more than 9,000 border workers go on strike. And here's Paula.
While healthcare professionals are fighting for the health of their patients.
In addition to high anxiety, lots of fear, a sense of powerlessness, a sense of feeling tired and burned out.
We'll show you one hospital group that is fighting for the mental health of the people fighting for you.
Paula, the Storm Tracker 4 is going to get very interesting here as we head into the upcoming weekend. A lot more active, but it's not going to be a washout. Find out what times will be wet over the weekend and when will be just sweaty. That's all right now. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Welcome to Click on Detroit, everybody. Karen's off today. I'm Jason. First at 4, the rapid surge in new COVID cases. The state reports a total of 3,962 cases from the last 3 days. That's an average of about 1,321 a day. 4 deaths were also reported from the same period. Starting Monday, face masks will be required to enter all city buildings in Ann Arbor. And on the vaccine front, the state's vaccination rate is at 63.9%. Those are the headlines, but we've also learned the state's health department will post new coronavirus case numbers and deaths 3 times a week. Data will now be released on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. A strike at the Canadian border is leading to long delays at the Ambassador Bridge. Taking a good look at it here, courtesy of Sky 4, as commercial travelers wait to cross the border. This morning, a joint strike between the Public Service Alliance of Canada and the Canadian Customs and Immigration Union began. At last check, there's a 2-hour wait time at both the Ambassador Bridge and the Blue Water Bridge in Port Huron. The strike comes as Canada is set to open its border to fully vaccinated travelers on Monday. The national president of the Public Service Alliance of Canada released a statement today saying, "We truly hoped we wouldn't be forced to take strike action, but we've exhausted every other avenue to reach a fair contract with the government." Nothing has changed on the American side of the border, by the way. The U.S. will not allow Canadian travelers in until at least later this month. Canadian border officials provided an update this afternoon on what you'll need if you do want to cross the border next week. We'll have that part of the story coming up tonight at 6. The search continues for 2 children who were taken by their father. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office says Joshua Breckenridge took 22-month-old Avery and 9-year-old Jaden from their mother's home in Independence Township. Investigators say Breckenridge is heading to North Carolina with the kids, driving a white 2003 GMC Yukon, which he apparently stole from his mother, or from the kid's mother, I should say. Police say the father is on a tether and is not supposed to leave the state. And Detroit police need your help finding a missing 13-year-old girl. Zaria Waholko was last seen Tuesday afternoon at her home on Alcoy near Gratiot on the city's east side. She's 5'4", about 120 pounds, with neck-length twists in her hair, and she has braces. She was last seen wearing a gray shirt, army camo leggings, and black and white shoes. Tonight at 5, you'll hear from family members who simply want Zaria back home. A big traffic headache to warn you about in Macomb County. Eastbound M59 is down to 1 lane from Ryan to Utica roads. On westbound M59, it's just 1 lane from Van Dyke to Ryan. There's 1 lane going both directions on Van Dyke at M59. Now, there is construction already going on in this area for some repatching, but now they have some emergency sewer repair work that's kicked in for just this weekend. At least that part of it will wrap up by Monday. A criminal complaint has been filed against New York Governor Andrew Cuomo over sexual misconduct allegations. The lawyer for the unnamed former staffer filed the complaint Thursday with the Albany Sheriff's Office. She was among the 11 women who accused Cuomo of sexually harassing them in the state attorney general's report. According to that report, she told investigators Governor Cuomo reached under her blouse and groped her. The governor denies touching anyone inappropriately. Sheriff's deputies up there say Cuomo could be arrested if investigators find he committed a crime. The new jobs report shows a big dip in the unemployment rate. The economy added 943,000 jobs in July, beating economists' expectations by about 83,000. The unemployment rate also fell 5.4%. That's a new low in the pandemic. As companies scramble to find employees, wages are on the rise. Hourly earnings were up 4% from a year earlier. President Biden says the strong jobs report is indisputable, his word. That's proof that plans are working.
Now, while our economy is far from complete, and while we doubtlessly will have ups and downs along the way as we continue to battle the Delta surge of COVID, what is indisputable now is this: the Biden plan is working, the Biden plan produces results, and the Biden plan is moving the country forward.
Hotels and restaurants added 327,000 jobs last month, followed by public schools, which added 221,000. New research from South Africa suggests Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine helps prevent severe disease among people infected with the Delta variant. The study included nearly 480,000 vaccinated health workers in South Africa. It showed the single-dose shot was 71% effective against hospitalizations from the Delta variant. It was about 95% effective at preventing deaths. The researchers say these results show there is no need for a booster shot yet. Most large employers have an employee assistance program, but for the 33,000 employees across the Henry Ford Health System group, they've taken it one step further. Paula Tutman takes us inside that group to show how they are working to retain healthcare workers by addressing their mental health needs.
Healthcare workers on the front lines and even behind the scenes are bracing themselves for what they believe could be coming next, and that is another COVID surge. Now, we're hearing about burnout, frustration, even experienced people leaving the field, which is why what Henry Ford Health Systems is doing really caught our attention.
It was a group that didn't exist prior to COVID. And immediately there was recognition, oh my gosh, we are going to need to put resources in place to support our employees if we are going to get through this medical crisis.
Yes, employees were in crisis as the pandemic grew.
We saw, in addition to high anxiety, lots of fear, a sense of powerlessness, a sense of feeling tired and burned out, sadness, insomnia, and an inability to sleep.
A new kind of employee assistance outreach you could call EAP on steroids sprang up in March of 2020. The behavioral medicine department put together a toolkit called Recover and Heal just to deal with healthcare worker trauma. In the toolkit, the Stronger Together buddy system. Currently, there are 150 buddy pairs, from janitors to orderlies to nurses, doctors, and administrative executives supporting one another so that what happens at work doesn't necessarily spill into households and infect partners and children to the stressors of the day.
It's really colleagues helping colleagues. And they make a commitment to hold each other up on a daily basis, either via text or email or phone call for a 12-week period.
The care cart moves throughout facilities daily so that employees can grab a healthy snack, have a friendly ear to talk to, or even sound an alert that they need deeper, more comprehensive services. And then for peer processing groups, a team of mental health professionals will, I guess you could say, parachute into any given facility when a team leader notices acute stress crisis in their units.
We meet with small teams, usually around 5 to 10 people. It's co-facilitated by the leader of that particular area and one of the members of, like, a COVID counselor or mental health professional. And they lead this small group in a conversation about what they're experiencing. That then opens a psychological safety in the entire group, beginning to really open up and find that we all have a shared narrative. We're going through this together. How can we support each other? What are some coping strategies that have helped you? Or what are some things that have actually made you feel worse? And then the mental health professional guides them into a further conversation about something we call post-traumatic growth.
The thing is, with burnout comes dropping out. And if we start losing experienced healthcare workers because their physical and emotional tanks are empty, the already serious pandemic becomes even more serious. If you roll up to a hospital, no matter which hospital group we're talking about, and no one is there to admit you, roll you down the hall, or hook you up to life-saving measures. And so the Recover and Heal program deals with past grief, and trauma, post-traumatic trauma and stress, fear of what's coming next, and real feelings on the ground being experienced right now as new COVID patients hit the wards.
I think universally, healthcare workers are struggling with compassion fatigue. And in the context of that, there is conflict in I'm here, I've been here, this has been going on for a long time, I'm exposing myself. When they are on the front, putting their lives at risk, and now patients are coming in who have not been vaccinated, and they say, why do I have to continue to be exposed to this when others within the community aren't doing their role?
Here's the bottom line. When you are saving the mental, emotional, and spiritual health care of your workers, they are able to continue to save us. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Really good stuff, Paula. And by the way, if you want to wrap your hands around and get a good handle on the latest with the coronavirus coverage, I encourage you to seek out Paula's other stories, see what's happening in schools, not just our health systems as well. She's got a lot of good stuff. It's right here at clickondetroit.com. All right, Ben, I'm sorry. That was a long delayed intro. I made him hang on the animation there forever. That might be a new record. And everybody just wants to know.
We're on the web, Jason. We got nothing but time.
That's
you
right.
talk all you want.
I don't think there are any rules
anywhere.
either. I mean, we could just go crazy, but we do want to see what's happening this weekend.
Yeah, we could do a puppet show, but I'm going to do weather instead. I think people would rather see that. We do have more rain. We've got more humidity and we've got more heat all headed in our direction. The first thing we're going to notice, though, are the shower chances and even some thunderstorms tonight. Check out radar here in West Michigan. We're starting to see a line of thunderstorms form there just south of Kalamazoo. Now, it's going to run into some much drier air over our side of the state, much more stable air. So we'll have to see if this thing can hold together. But as of right now, it does look like it's moving off to the west. We'll keep an eye on it. If that does hold together, we're looking at showers and thunderstorms in the west zone by about 7 o'clock. We are not anticipating anything severe, but just could be some pretty decent downpours. We're starting to get a more moist atmosphere, and we're going back to some of those more isolated, heavier rain showers with any of the thunderstorms that show up. By midnight, still a little bit of activity, and then generally we're going to be dry overnight except for the south zone. You're going to be seeing a little bit more in the way of showers and thunderstorms than the rest of us. And then after 8 o'clock in the morning, we should be on the dry side, at least temporarily, and we'll talk more about weekend rain chances here in just a minute. Current temperatures low to mid 80s out there. Metro airport's at 84. Dew points are still working in our favor. We've still got really dry air, just starting to bump into the noticeable category there in the low 60s. But West Michigan, where those thunderstorms are, dew point 68, that's muggy in South Bend, 71 in South Haven. That's where it starts getting tropical, and we will be getting a taste of that before too long. Saturday afternoon, that's a little bit better chance of more scattered thunderstorms. But this is not going to be a washout. We are going to see some dry time between that morning round in the south zone and the scattered stuff in the afternoon. Sunday looks mostly dry, albeit with 90-degree highs and pretty high humidity. It's going to be tough to rule out a pop-up thunderstorm in the second half of the day, but I think most of us will skate through dry. Monday is one of our better chances of thunderstorms. That continues into Tuesday, and you can see this general pattern where we're going to be in a warm sector here with the cold front well off to our west. Until that thing goes through late Thursday into Friday, it's going to be a lot more of the same, especially from the heat and humidity as we finish out next week. 68 tonight. We'll start noticing that humidity rising through the night, and especially when we wake up tomorrow morning. 86 on the high side tomorrow, but let's check how it's going to feel in your 4-zone forecast. Heat index readings in the metro zone, 91, 92 there in the city. We'll call it right at 90 at the airport, and that's again with that air temperature in the mid-80s. We'll see 90s for heat index readings in Monroe County, likely mid to upper 80s if you're in Lenawee County tomorrow afternoon. West zone, anywhere between 83 in Fenton and 89 in Canton. That's how it's going to feel on Saturday. And the north zone, you're not escaping it. In fact, these numbers may be a little bit higher than the west zone, 87 to maybe 91 for that heat index down in Macomb tomorrow afternoon. 7-day forecast does not look a whole lot different through most of next week. Most of these days are going to be heat index readings in the 90s. That's when the cold front goes through. So, Jason, Friday we're going to see much less humid air, but air temperature's only cooling to 86. So keep feeding that air conditioner because it's going to be running a lot over the next several days.
Yeah. I got to tell you, the next time somebody asks me what the weather's going to be like, I can't wait to say, hey, the dew points are working in our favor, just to see what they say. See if we just, what? It's gonna be good.
Cross-stitch it in a pillow. It's fantastic.
Thanks, Ben. All right, let's take a look at the Olympic medal count and get out of here. The United States leads in total medals with 98, followed by China with 79, and the group representing Russia with 62. In the medal standings, China does still lead with 36, followed by the U.S. with 31, and Japan with 24. And here's a look at our on-air lineup tonight at 7 o'clock. It's Jeopardy, followed by the Olympic Zone Special at 7:30, and primetime Olympic coverage starts at 8. And then please stick around and join us for Local 4 News. We get a late start tonight, 12:30. You may want to set something to tape that one. I don't know if you're going to stay up all the way. If you stay up and watch that live, God bless you, because you're a true blue Local 4 fan. That's going to do it for us on ClickOnDetroit.com. We'll be back on the air coming up at 5 o'clock. See you later.